Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm here to give you 5 players that I think Luton could sign that would replace Amari'i. As we know, Amari'i is being released at the end of his contract, which means I think we are a little bit light in that left back spot. So I've picked out 5 left backs who I think can improve us going forward, and hopefully we have a realistic chance of signing in this upcoming summer transfer window. Let me know down in the video comments if there's a left back out there in the world that you think Luton should try and sign. And while you're down there, smash that like button for me, guys. It helps the video perform a lot better on YouTube. So the first player that I've picked out is a player called Jack Curry. He is currently 23 years old. He currently plays for Leyton Orient on loan. His actual main club is Oxford United, but they sent him out on loan this season at Leyton Orient, and he's been having a great year. They obviously got into those playoff positions, and as I'm recording this video, only the first leg has been done, and it ended 2-2 between Leyton Orient and Stockport County. In terms of is he an attacking or defensive-minded fullback? He's actually a more defensive one from what I've seen. Now, I haven't watched every player that I've picked 20 times. I'm looking at their stats. I'm looking at what people have said about them online and the odd game which I've seen them play. So, look, I'm not pretending I am an expert. I haven't seen these play 20 odd times. I'm just going by what I've read and what I've seen. But from what I've seen, he is a more defensive-minded. He's good in the air, he's tackling, and his reading off the game is quite good. And he does like to play. Now, the biggest question is, he is on loan from Oxford United, and he has signed a long-term contract with them. If we're going to bring him to the football club, I do think we would have to pay for him. Now, I do believe we can afford him. I do believe if you give Oxford a couple of £1 million, they might say yes to that. I might be way off in terms of valuation, but I do believe that is a big question for Oxford United. Is there plans to keep Jack Curry, and would they cash in on him if he's part of their plans? The person that gave him the long-term contract was a guy called Des Buckingham, who's no longer the Oxford United manager. Gary Rowett might not fancy him. So we'll soon find out in the upcoming few months if he's part of Oxford United's plans. But I would 100% pick him to come and play for Luton. Moving on to my second player that I've picked out, and he goes by the name of James Maxwell from Doncaster Rovers. Now, he is under contract at Donny. He's 23 years old. He played 27 times this season and he got 1 assist. Now, what I really like about James Maxwell is his age is quite good, so he can improve. But also, for the last 3 years, I do think he's been quite a good player for Doncaster. Someone who I think has gone under the radar a little bit. He hasn't got the plaudits which I think he deserves from fans outside of Doncaster. When I look at players where, fans go, I would love him at my football club, James Maxwell is a player that I haven't seen much of, where fans go, yeah, I want him. So I do think he goes under the radar a little bit. He's really good at intercepting the ball, tackling and blocking as well. Quite similar to Jack Curry. I think he is more defensive-minded than attacking-minded, but he won the league with Doncaster in League 2. And I think he's a player that we could bring to the football club. In terms of valuation, I'm not too sure. But I do think, again, just like with Jack Curry, if you put a decent fee in front of Doncaster, I do think they will accept it. The third player that I've picked out goes by the name of Alex Murphy. Now, he does play for Newcastle United, and he did sign a long-term contract recently. Now, for the second half of this football season, he actually spent on loan at Bolton. He played 13 times. He can play as a centre-back and also as a left-back, and he's got 2 goals. For me, he's a really good defender, good passer, tackling, likes to play it short rather than go long. He's crossing, and his ability in the air is quite poor. So that is something which, the club would have to work on. But the question would be, could we get him on loan, or do we try and bring him to the football club on a permanent? Now, I do think Newcastle would require a high fee for him. So a loan option might be the better one out of the two. But the question will be for Newcastle is, do they put him back out on loan to League One, or do they put him on loan to a Championship side? Because he did have a good second half of a season with Bolton. So That's the big question for Newcastle there, but he's definitely a player that stood out for me when watching Bolton. The fourth player that I've picked, and it's a player that I've already spoken about on my channel. I spoke about him in the January transfer window, and he goes by the name of Shaun Roland. He is a left back and also can play as a centre back. He has had a lot of interest because he is out of contract, but he's not out of contract in the sense of you can pick him up on a free. He's out of contract because he's an academy product at Lincoln, had a great season with them. He played 51 times. He's 22 years old. And because he came through the academy, and when academy players are out of contract, clubs who want to sign those types of players, you still have to give the club that developed him some sort of, fee in order to bring him to the football club. It's one of those rules where it protects the club that spent years and years developing players. So I do understand it. And I do think Lincoln are asking for quite a big fee, at least a 6-figure fee, potentially more. Now, as I was prepping this video, I have seen reported that a club, an unnamed club, we don't know if it's Championship or League One, have agreed a package with Lincoln for Shaun Roland. And he has been given permission to hold talks over a potential move. A number of Championship and League One clubs are after him. So if Luton are going to be one of those clubs, we then have to put in quite a big fee, quite decent wage package as well in order to bring him to the football club. But for me, his strengths are crossing, his reading of the game, he can hold his own. His improvements, I do think his passing and his ability in the air does need to improve. But he's someone who does like to go long, and also he does like to tackle as well. I do like him. I'm a big fan of Shaun's. I've been watching him for quite a long time. He always stands out when watching Lincoln play in League One. But if we want to bring him to the football club, we've got to offer Lincoln a decent, fee, and also give Shaun Roland a decent contract, because as what's been reported, lots of clubs are after him. And finally, the last player that I've picked goes by the name of Hume, who currently plays for Grimsby Town. Now, out of all the players, he's the one I've got the biggest question mark over. He's 26 years old. He's out of contract at Grimsby, but I have been told Grimsby have offered him a deal. So we could potentially get him on a free if we really want him. He played 47 times in League Two. From left back, he got 12 assists. He does take set pieces, so that does help. But he's a very attacking left back. He has played League One football before for the likes of Sunderland and also Portsmouth. I do find it a little bit strange he is playing in League Two, but he might be back to League One next season. Very good crosser of the ball, as I've already mentioned. Very good at set pieces. Passing, dribbling and tackling, also very good. I can't really see many weaknesses in his game apart from not being that great in the air. Likes to cross, likes to shoot from distance. The question mark with Hume is, can he do it for a top-end League One team? Because he didn't do it for Sunderland and also for Portsmouth. He hasn't replicated the performances which he's doing at Grimsby at top-end League One clubs. So that is the biggest question mark on him. So those are the 5 players that I've picked out that I think should replace Amari'i in that left-back spot. The way I've gone about this is, 1, can they play League One football? And 2, is there a potential chance of these players stepping up to the Championship if Luton were to win promotion first time of asking? And I do think these 5 players stand a chance in doing that, apart from Hume, who I've got a big question mark if he can do it at the top end of League One. But I do believe all 5 players that I've picked are better than Amari'i. So I do think whoever we get out of those 5, if we do, would be an improvement from Amari'i. That's just my opinion. You might disagree with me on that, but these are the 5 players that I've picked that I wouldn't mind Luton trying to sign in this upcoming summer transfer window. That is the end of the video, guys. Please smash that like button for me. Also, drop a comment down below on your thoughts on the picks that I've selected for today's video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. It is free to do so. Don't forget to follow me across all my social media, and I'll see you guys in the next video.